Got a 2002 Yamaha FZ1 here. 01 to 05 first gen, it's all the same stuff. This video will cover spark plug replacement, which I'm just about done with. I figured I'd stop and smell the flowers a little bit and enjoy the fact that I'm almost done with this suck-ass job. So that, this is kind of what you gotta do. Like, I know that doesn't look great. You gotta stick your arm in there. I think I got regular size hands, you know. I mean, there's certainly some of you out there that wouldn't be able to get in here and, you know, do this thing. This is cylinder number 2, which currently has the articulated socket from the Yamaha toolkit. This little guy goes in there, just like 1 through 4, it's all the same thing. Number 2 is the worst. Number 3 is not as bad because you have a little bit more room to actually get in there and do the damn thing. So, number 1, number 3, number 4, not too bad. Number 2 is the devil. Yeah, like I said, you gotta get in here, insert your socket. It kind of guides itself in. It is, like I said, it's articulated. It's got that neat little joint in there. So this can get down in there, get your plug. The way you get that thing out, boy, it sucks. It'd be a much longer video if I was actually going to show you how long it took to get the old one out and the new one in. But basically, you're going to have a variety. Look at my high quality 14mm Pittsburgh, made in Pittsburgh, China. You can get on it. That's on it. I have enough range of motion. You can see if I wanted to tighten it further, I can tighten until I hit that coolant hose right there. And then you got to flip the wrench over. So you tighten, flip the wrench, get another bite, tighten, flip the wrench, get another bite. That's what you got to do here. A certain amount of offset is going to be crucial. You can also use another shorter wrench, such as this. Gives you a little bit, and maybe the angle, maybe it has a little bit less offset on it, a little bit less crank. Box end, you know, use everything at your disposal. If you're lucky, once you break number 2 loose, you'll be able to sit here with your fingertips and cramp your hand into oblivion, trying to turn that thing and loosen the spark plug once it's no longer tight like torque, but just if it's just got a little bit of crusty, there's always a little bit of carbon deposits or something on the threads or something that, you know, you're going to have to, they don't just spin right out. Wouldn't that be nice? The new ones usually go in with a little bit less drama, but the new ones still, I got to a point, I think that one went about halfway in. These are pretty long plugs. This is the only one I haven't installed yet. This is going to go in cylinder number 1. I saved the easy one for last. You got to sit here and thread that thing. I don't know how many turns it takes. I guess I could figure it out, but you're over here trying to thread this thing in. I got number 2 about halfway down before it started to get a little snug, so then I had to get the wrench out. So between a combination of your fingertips, painstakingly, it's like some kind of sick torture. You know, you're in here, you can see it. All you need to do is turn it, but you just can't. You can get your hand in here, you can get 2 fingers on it. The opposable thumb is not really a part of this transaction, because as you can see, these stupid-ass air injection lines. Maybe if you take all this shit out, oh yeah, it'd be great, no problem. I'm not going to do all that if I don't have to. And I'd really rather not. You can do it without taking the tank off. You can do it without disturbing the cooling system. Both of these larger diameter hoses, that's coolant. And then these guys are all iron. This is really the fucking last nail in the coffin for this job as far as making it suck ass. These guys are in the way. They hurt you. You can't get your thumb down there. You can't really get under them except for then with a wrench. From the other side, you can try. As far as installation, I'm on the stator side here, shifter, stator side, whatever you want to call it. I installed these 3 plugs, 4, 3, and 2 from this side, and it went pretty well. So no matter how you do it, it's going to suck a little bit. And then, of course, once you get the plugs in, oh, look at that. They're calling this number 1, whatever. So maybe 1, 2, and 3, whatever. Those middle ones are kind of the worst. But anyway, once you get the plugs in, then you got to wrestle these plug leads, and there's a little bit of room. You can kind of push them up and out of the way. I'm trying not to hurt anything. You know, I don't want to apply any more force than is necessary here, but something's going to happen to get that in. But yeah, then you get them all the way down, get every last click until that boot is essentially seated. And we'll try it again with what apparently is number 2. It's a little backwards from the, what I would call it. You know, again, usually you start numbering on the other side, the side where it's driving the primary, you know, gear off of the crankshaft. Anyway, got a fly in here. Actually, I got 3 flies in here. They're just gangbanging me. There's that one. Yeah, this job sucks. It always sucks on these inline 4s. There's no good way to do it. There's one. I only got 1 click out of that one. It's maybe tough getting it on video. It can be done. I haven't actually done this part yet. I know taking them off was kind of a bitch. Again, you're working in the worst. Jammed up, crowded. Can't even. There's 2. There's 3. 3's good for me because it looks like it's more or less over the. These guys are very important to have that over that lip because otherwise you'll have shit falling down inside your spark plug tubes, which is fine until you take the plugs out, and then that shit that dropped down in there is going to be in your cylinders, and there's nothing good going to come from that. Definitely don't want abrasive junk getting down inside of your cylinders, and you know, it's just going to tear shit up, so we try to avoid that. And Yamaha's done some due diligence there. They designed these plug boots so that they, you know, they cover the spark plug tube, which otherwise is a giant funnel right down into the innards of the beast here. So there's number, that's my favorite one, going in there, man. 1 click. Fuck. 1 might be, I mean, it'll run like that, but I don't want to just leave it at that. Oh yeah, I got 2, 3. It looks like it could go down a little more. If I, geez, maybe I'll come back to that. Because again, my hand is just, I'm all up in this thing's guts. Let me put the phone down for a minute and just struggle. Maybe that'll do it. 2 hands on it, kinda. I wish I could show you this. This is quite the operation. Oh man, now I'm pushing. And it's just probably gonna be right there. Ow. Alright, so I was going over the top on this side and over the top on that side. I mean, it's over the lip. It's probably gonna be alright. If you hit this with water, especially like a pressure washer, it might get in between. So don't do that, right? Simple as that. Anyway, that's the worst part of the job. The other side is cake, so do that without even moving the bike. Yeah, that one's right there. She's just begging for a spark plug. So if you can handle those inner 2, which are upside down, yeah, from the side it's a little bit worse, I think, with the, yeah, these little bastards right here. These are the same hard lines that go for the air injection, which I could probably just remove entirely. I think I had a 919 before this. And on the 919, it's common delete is what the internet nerds call it. It's not really a mod, you're just taking shit off your bike. Like, don't get too excited about it. But yeah, you probably take all that shit off if you just figure out a way to plug these ports up here on the front. But yeah, those guys right there. I'm sure there's a solution out there. And I really, if I'm servicing this machine, if I have to take that valve cover off to check valve clearances, that shit's in the way. So I think if I ever do take that off, I'm not putting it back on. I'm not going to be telling you it's a mod, like it's like I did something, you know. But man, that just makes servicing this thing just suck. And that's really purely emissions related. I don't think they're going to do anything for you. And I don't know how much they really do for emissions, honestly. I think they inject unburned oxygen right there in the exhaust port, which helps, I guess, if there's any combustion that can take place right there in the system where it's still hot. I guess that makes sense. It can, you know, react a little bit or combust, and maybe the emissions are a little bit cleaner. I'm riding this thing when I'm not riding that thing. And if we're talking about emissions, like a 75 Yamaha 2-stroke 350, it's actually a 400 now. We're not really worried about emissions, so, you know, none of this matters, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's the deal. Those are the plugs you need for the 01 to 05 FZ1. And I hope you have one of these guys Actually, this bike, like many others, actually it might have come with a toolkit. I think it's under the seat back here. But I had this left over from another bike that I didn't sell it without it. I destroyed the bike. I totaled it. Absolutely yard saled that bike. So I had this left over. That was probably all that was left. So I still have this from that was an FZ6. I guess they're all probably the same, but you need some spark plugs. Wouldn't go any other way than genuine NGK. Get them from Yamaha, get them from wherever, as long as they're NGK plugs. Don't go to Amazon, don't go to eBay and get some knockoff shit. You don't want to do this job twice because it sucks. But yeah, get yourself some good plugs. Make sure you got this guy, because don't even try without it. You're fucking doomed. There's no way you're getting through it. But it can be done. Not a big deal. Every, 10,000 miles? Actually, these had probably, I'm assuming these are original plugs. I don't know if they're original. But they looked pretty good if the autofocus will automatically focus. There we go. Not really a whole lot of wear, just a little bit. You know, I've seen much worse. These probably could have gone another 10K. I'm generally pretty easy on this bike. I'm not banging gears everywhere. You can't get away with that legally on this, or, in any other way. Eventually you're going to either end up dead or in prison. So if you're not short shifting and taking it easy, maybe replace them every 8, 10K. But if you're riding like you want to survive to ride another day, yeah, probably 10, 15, 20 even. That's what they look like new. And you can see there's, compared to the plug I just showed you, there's not much erosion. So, I don't know, 10K is conservative. Again, assuming these are the original plugs, I really don't know. But I have reason to believe they are. I got this bike with about 4,900 miles on it. And the previous owner didn't ride it much, And so yeah, 10K is probably conservative, but I'd rather, they're not expensive. It's cheap insurance, right? And I kind of feel like I owe the bike a little bit of work. I just ride the piss out of this thing and I never do anything to it, really. So today's the day for plugs. Anyway, hope that helps. Stay tuned for more FZ1 related content. I do a little bit with these bikes, like that 919 that I had, did a little bit, and then I sell the bike. And then people ask me questions about the bike, and it's like, oh shit, well, I don't have it anymore. This one I'm going to have for a while, I think. I don't know if there's a better street bike out there. All things considered, like all around, this is hard to beat. And I'll actually be doing a shock rebuild on this too, I think. Maybe not a rebuild, but I do need to charge the shock, just like the 919. This is a 2002. There's not much charge left in that reservoir. And I think I found the other day that it's got the same type of deal on it, where it doesn't have a Schrader valve. They charged at the factory in this kind of half-assed Mickey Mouse way. Oh, there I am. Hey, how you doing? So this thing's going to need at least a fresh charge in the reservoir, so that's probably coming up next. So when I get around to it, I'll get a video up on that. But for now, ride safe. Thanks for watching.